The Magical Fairy and the School of Patience. In a small town where magic was an everyday occurrence, there lived a young fairy named Eliza. Eliza was a student at the prestigious School of Magic, where she learned spells, potions, and the art of flying on a broomstick. She had an extraordinary talent for magic, but was also very impatient. She often shouted when things didn't go her way, and her energy seemed uncontrollable. One day, during a spellcasting lesson, Eliza was tasked with transforming a stone into a rose. She was excited, but after several attempts, the stone remained a stone, and she began to get frustrated. "Why isn't this working?" she shouted, her voice echoing throughout the classroom. Her teacher, Mrs. Mirabella, approached her calmly. "Eliza, magic requires patience and calm. Try again, but this time with a deep breath and tranquility." Eliza tried, but her frustration only grew. The stone didn't budge. Finally, feeling defeated, she sat back down, feeling conquered. "I'll never manage it," she thought. A few days later, Eliza had another task. This time she had to brew a potion that would make flowers bloom instantly. Eliza was determined to succeed this time. She began mixing the ingredients, but her impatience surfaced again. "Why is this taking so long?" she muttered, adding the ingredients hastily. To her surprise, the potion began to bubble and change color. "I did it!" she shouted joyfully. However, her joy was short-lived. When she poured the potion on the flowers, instead of blooming beautifully, they started to shrink and wilt. Eliza was devastated. "What did I do wrong?" she asked, distraught. Mrs. Mirabella approached her calmly once more. "Eliza, magic is not just about ingredients and spells. It's also about patience and understanding. You must give yourself time to understand what you're doing." The next day, Eliza faced the most important task. She had to perform a protective spell that would shield the entire school from an approaching magical storm. Eliza was terrified, but knew she had to try. She began reciting the spell, but her thoughts were scattered. "I must hurry, the storm is already near," she thought, her heart racing wildly. The spell wasn't working, and the storm was drawing closer. Eliza felt that all was lost. "I can't do it," she thought in despair. Then her friends, other fairies and wizards, came up to her. "Eliza, you're not alone. We'll help you," they said. Together they began reciting the spell, and Eliza felt her heart calm down. Together, with the help of her friends, Eliza felt a new energy. She realized she didn't have to do everything alone, and that patience and calm were crucial. Alongside her friends, she recited the spell, this time with full focus and calm. The storm began to retreat, and the sky above the school brightened. "We did it!" everyone shouted with joy. Eliza felt a great weight lift from her heart. She understood that patience, calm, and the support of friends are key in magic and in life. From that day forward, Eliza became more patient and calm. She knew she didn't have to rush, and that sometimes it's worth waiting for better results. Her friends and teachers were proud of her, and she felt stronger and more confident. Soon, Eliza became one of the best students at the School of Magic, and her impatience gave way to patience and understanding. She knew that with the support of friends and teachers, she could overcome any obstacle. And although she still occasionally shouted in frustration, she quickly reminded herself of the importance of maintaining calm and patience. Do you ever find yourself being impatient like Eliza? What feelings accompany you then? Do you have friends around you who can support you when you feel discouraged? Remember, just like Eliza, you can learn patience and calm, and with the help of friends and family, you can overcome any obstacle.